All right, is everybody good?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, are you good?
I think so. I hope so. I guess I'm fitting to find out.
Fitting to find out.
Yeah.
Boy, if that ain't the most West Virginia shit I heard in some time.
You're welcome.
I am welcome. Thank you.
All right, so last time we left off, we had just completed a mission over in Italy that was to investigate some old catacombs that was apparently holding a dagger that was of high interest, the ones that was used to stab the old Emperor Julius Caesar. In the midst of that, the way to get to the dagger, they decided, was to establish a tour/party event that Sean Dublin just did not spare expense onto reserving the spot for the time. In the midst of that, eventually the Sean sent Carl to distract the tour guides. That way the rest of the group, being mainly just Effie and Harlen, to investigate the tombs that they just discovered from the old key, what is claimed to be the symbol of the Caesars. Eventually traveling a tomb, they ran into the shambling corpses of the old ancient Rome citizens that were just placed down there, essentially, whose main purpose was to essentially ward off or protect the catacombs from invaders. Harlen, being the swift and bright mind, decides to run through everybody, being that they're shambling corpses and are fairly slow. Manages to make it to another hallway, which brings out armored ones, and then a last room that is essentially the nexus point into going into the main room that eventually the group goes into. In the main room that our group looks through, they find stacks of bodies that are placed essentially almost haphazardly. It was organized at first, but eventually they just kind of just tossed them in there because it's just too many. 3 separate sections of pretty much from floor to ceiling of just bodies laid into cavities in the walls that were warded with either words of good rest, taken on Moore's chariot, etc., etc. Eventually finding a shrine room or a altar where the bodies were probably in the process of being warded, so that way they did not come up like shambling corpses like the others. They also investigated some of the crypts in there that had the names of old rulers of Rome as well. Then right before they leave the main room, they are attacked by 2 essentially sentinels of stone and some strange mechanics. But they're eventually just swiftly bested with eventual of just modern gunfire. Lastly, entering a room where there was another party who had made it to the room before our heroes, to which point a standoff occurred, leaving Carl and Montre pretty much almost dead.
Indeed.
But the rest were fine.
He was hurt. Yeah, he was very hurt.
Yeah.
I leaked.
They did discover, the group did recover the knife, the dagger. They did not investigate anything else in the room. Did not want to find out what would happen if they did. Montre did notice that the dagger currently has an inhabitant in it, as he knows that it was something used to transfer souls into mechanical bodies like his own.
And did not wish to test what would happen if a soul in it would go into another person's soul. It's an accident waiting to happen.
So after that, the group has flown back to England, where the lodge is at. That is now, at least the outside looks fairly different, as there's an added section where it is kind of like a workshop area, essentially some sort of prefabricated setup, nothing too fancy. Actually, I can just send everybody over there now.
Teleportation.
Yes, I need to activate the scene. Let me know if you guys can see or if I have the token vision on for some reason.
I can see.
I can also see.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little workshop area there which you can repair your items. I guess in Montre's case, he can repair himself more easily. You can also modify and craft other ones like bombs, modify your weapons, maybe potentially rechamber the machine gun to something that's easy to acquire as far as ammunition, stuff like that, essentially.
Interesting idea.
Once you guys make it back, you are greeted by William Bates.
My good man Bates. It is I, a man who speaks with an Irish accent, Sean Dublin.
Yes, it is good to see you all made it back. The other team hasn't returned yet from their mission, as it seems they take a more methodical approach than you all, at least from what it seems. Feels like you only left maybe a day or 2 ago and are now back.
I was purchasing property and it seemed a good time to return. That said, you should warn them to be on the lookout for any interference by the businessman Ruslan Omer.
Rosalind. Interesting. Regardless.
I didn't want to say anything over the telephone or interceptable media like the telegraph. You never know who's on the other end of those wires.
The government. Typically.
Well, Bates, I was thinking of taking this team and raiding Ruslan Omar's house and giving it a toss and interrogating him in a sort of extrajudicial manner. What do you think about that plan?
We're not a body of any legal standing, are we? I don't see how we can do that.
See, when I had that concern, everyone was like, "Oh, Sean, we love the guy who throws Molotov cocktails at the brown shirts."
Realistically, the only sort of political or national standing that you make is the ones that you claimed yourself as you're doing what you're planning to do. Now, if you wish to keep this as your own matters, just do not claim that you're here for the lodge. Just say that you're here doing your own. Meaning, don't take the plane with you.
You know what? We had to sit down with that Nazi commandant back in China. I think we should do another one of those villains ball meetings where we sit down with them, we get information out of them, we get them to give us stuff because we're charming, and then we ruin their whole life as we're leaving. We don't need to go invade the place. We just need a business lunch.
That does sound more appealing. If we can create some havoc that will only occur after our departure, it should be harder to take legal action against us.
What kind of havoc are you thinking of?
If there are items that they have obtained without our knowledge already that they cannot pin to us having taken, then I believe it serves both our purpose as a group and our purpose in putting a hamper on their activities.
Interesting. Before you do any sort of other plans, I should probably tell you about the new amenities we have here. Obviously, you've seen the workshop outside, which you can use to craft certain items if you wish. Explosives, gadgets, what have you, or work on your weapons. There is a library that's fully stocked upstairs that has several writings that you can investigate of historical, supernatural, folklore, practically everything that you would need. And, new dining facility and, well, a lodge or sitting area. There's also several rooms, as we've expanded a bit since you all had left, and funding has been rapidly coming in due to intrigue of affairs, investors, essentially. So if you guys want to take a look at upstairs, because I got bored one day and did all this. If one of you want to drag your people over to, like,
It says I've hit a wall.
Like there?
Yeah, it says I hit a wall.
Oh,
You
okay.
have to take the wall away. Ah, there we go. I came from the correct direction. Okay, so there's blood on the tables?
That's for my aesthetic effect. Oh, I forgot to mention, there is a medical facility upstairs. That way you can heal after you've nearly died, as you guys, at least one of you looks a little rough, though not dead.
Yeah, I will, I'll go ahead and hang out in, this looks like it's the infirmary.
Yeah, you just gotta lay down for no reason.
Yeah, I don't feel great. I got patched up.
The third floor is not available. Oh, it is under development.
I
Okay,
go into the
that transition's
kitchen
pretty cool.
I go in the kitchen and I start making a crudité, and I take a mixed shot, half Jameson, half Bailey's, into a pint of Guinness. It's morning. This is an appropriate cocktail.
So you all can use the amenities that we have to your free benefit until you feel like you need to leave again, or in case I need you to do something. At the moment, I don't have anything. A lounge area that you can use as a meeting room, or honestly, you could just talk wherever you feel like.
Just shout across the house as usual.
I'll just pretend that I didn't hear any sort of suspicious arsony or terrorist type plans. Oh, and I believe you worked with Athos over in Italy in this past venture?
Boy, I'm not in the room, or I'd have something to say.
So due to some of our sponsors noticing that there wasn't anybody at our lodge that had any sort of demolition skills, we had unfortunately decided to, or well, almost had to, bring in Athos along. Though I don't imagine you want him on your crew unless you want him on your crew. That'd be your choice.
Explosives is a repairs thing, isn't it?
I believe it is tied to repair, but let me double check. Now I need to know myself because I don't remember at the moment.
No,
I might actually be incidentally good at explosives.
Incidentally,
It
is
also
different.
covers the use of demolitions and explosives.
Yeah, they must. It used to be separate, but they probably clumped it in this new version. So
Hey guys,
you are incidentally
I'm-
good at explosions.
I'm apparently your demo guy.
Yes, but that
Boy,
wasn't on
that's
your
gonna-
resume.
It wasn't, no. That's definitely going to do wonders for what Effie thinks about Carl.
make things go boom. What else do you do? I go boom.
So yeah, you
Fix a
may
brick.
proceed whatever grand heist plans you might want as William to go off, unless someone needs him.
Nope, I'm just going to check in with medical, see what else needs to be done.
I mean, you're perfectly fine. I mean, you're bruised badly.
Okay, I mean, I just check with him to see if there's anything else I need, or if I just need to suck it up and walk it off.
You just need to suck it up. You probably get handed some morphine for the pain. That's about it.
Okay.
Morphine, 1 pound to go.
I mean, during this era, you could get amphetamines
Yeah.
by the boatload.
Yeah, so I feel like he pulls out his flask, takes a sip of whiskey, takes some morphine. Thank you, and then he leaves.
Yeah, because I don't remember who healed you. I think it was it Harlen that healed you? I think it was.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he patched you back to full, and then Montre, you patched Montre back to full.
Yeah.
Because his issue could wait. Yours really couldn't up until now.
Yeah. I did help with some of Montre's repairs. I don't know if they were complete or if we need to do more repairs to you.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
it
pretty sure
was
you
good.
completed them.
Okay.
Yeah, I only had 1 wound.
Boy, I'm jealous.
Well, he soaked most his. I think he was going to
Yeah.
take 3, but he managed to soak it down to 1.
I can be tough sometimes. All that metal.
Yeah, it comes with being the muscle, quote unquote.
That's what the professor said. I have a note.
You do have a note.
Otherwise, I think Carl is just going to he's just going to go find the liquor and then just sort of snoop and see what other people are up to before deciding what he's going to do.
I mean, the liquor would be in the kitchen, which is downstairs.
Yeah, so he's headed to the kitchen to go refill his flask and get another drink.
I guess. As far as downtime actions, I guess Montre would work on getting his now trademarked weapon into a ammo type that is easily sourced. So right now it's like 7.92. I guess it needs to be
I mean, you
6.2.
so typically it's like 8mm Mauser,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
the
7.92.
7.92. Yeah.
You'd be switching it to, in this case, either 30-06 or was it 30-30 British?
Yeah.
I believe is what the Enfield's chambered in.
So we'd we've got the shop. We'd have to make you a new barrel, a new receiver. We'd have to do a bunch of work on your receiver, but I'm sure we could make it happen as long as we can fabricate.
Yeah. So essentially, it'll take a couple of checks as you go on.
Okay.
Make sure you do anything. So I mean, you can make one now at we'll say -4, since this is your first time doing this sort of thing.
Let's use, what is it? Trait roll modifier, -4. There we go.
It being not a shotgun, it is fairly exact science.
Nope. I ain't never pulling that one off that way.
It's just -4 for now. We can.
Yeah.
It'll get better as we go. Actually, you get the lodge modifier, which is a +1 at the moment, so it would only been -3, but it still didn't.
Yeah.
Still weren't close at the moment.
I think I'll go before I go schedule my my horse lessons. I would check in with Sean Dublin.
Oh, you find Sean drinking the horrifying cocktail he's made up. He's assembled a fine plate of crudités, and he has invented ranch dressing to go with the plate of roughly chopped vegetables. Well, sauerkraut, what can I do for you?
Nickname, huh? I guess that means
I'm drinking at 8 a.m. like any good Irishman.
I know you know the guy, but do you know his home? Have you been there before?
Who are we talking about? Ruslan Omer?
Yeah.
My family knows his family, and anyone who's anyone in England, I suppose, knows him. He's a shady businessman, half in, half out sort of deal.
Have you visited his home before, though?
I'm going to ask the GM whether that's true or not.
I guess it depends on how your family does business too. Are they also do some dirty work on occasion, or they try to keep themselves relatively clean?
I know you can't see it. I'm smiling. My mother's a politician, and my father is the one that owns the sheep farm, I believe. So, yeah, I'd say we're in pretty deep as landowners and politicians.
So yes, you probably have been to his estate before.
Yeah, of course. Ruslin. Yeah, I know him. Know of him. My parents do business with him more directly. I say very Irishly.
Well, I don't know much. I don't know that much about business, but if we're gonna go after this guy in his own home, it does
Start with a conversation with him. Yes, his men did try to kill all of you, but I'm sure it wasn't personal.
Oh, no mistake. I don't care if it was personal. It just seems it would be good if maybe if there was anything you could maybe draw out of anything you remember of the home. If we're gonna do this,
Oh,
I
yes,
would like to survive the way back out.
Let me look at my memory of what I'm good at. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty smart. Yes, I'm very smart, so I just do that.
So what are you trying to do?
Draw a basic blueprint of the house because I've been there before.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it is indeed a mansion. I don't know if I have that map ready for. I will get you a map when I get the map real quick. Hold on a second.
I understand. Dude, listen, you don't have to force this. I think Kain just wants it for when we go in, so that you aren't like showing us bits and pieces of it. He wants to know where the back door is because our plans have a tendency to catastrophically fail. Remember the plan to jump onto a moving aircraft? We didn't even
drive
do
onto
that
one.
plan.
I don't know if they catastrophically fail. It's more of I always say you fail
for an
successfully.
intelligence gathering mission, and you killed a bunch of Rustlin Omer's men.
I mean,
no, that was
tried to kill
the
us.
captain's men that he killed and murdered.
Okay.
Let's not bicker and argue over
Anyway,
who tried to kill who.
While he starts drawing it out, I want to go find Harlen and bring him in on this.
Oh, Harlen's, was probably making his way in to get a drink as well. So yeah.
Harlen, there's something here for you to see. For your expertise.
Okay. So
I
this
shove the plate of cruditas towards Harlen and go, crudité?
Harlen will try it out and try out this new invention of ranch dressing.
So essentially, from what you can tell from this rough sketch of the map of his mansion, is that there's a way to get in from the back courtyard, or I guess the garden, so to speak.
Okay. Back garden, courtyard.
Yep. The mansion does have a small wall that's surrounding it, but it's probably, from what you remember, only 5 or 6 feet high.
Okay, 5 to 6 feet high. I turn to Harlen and I say, yes, I had the inspiration for this ranch dressing when I traveled to the exotic land of California.
An interesting one. I can't say what my opinion is yet, but I'm certainly not put off.
All right. I am going to put the crudités down, and then I'm going to move out from behind the bar so that I'm standing in between Harlen and oh my god, I can't remember your character. Carl. Yeah. I'm going to wrap my arm around each of your shoulders, and I'm going to say, gentlemen, for my downtime action, I need to rapidly learn the following languages: Latin, German, Russian, and Japanese. And they say that the best way to learn a language is to speak to the people who use it. I'm about to head down to a brothel, and because I need to learn Latin, I assume I need to find a nun at some point. Any chance you want to come with me?
Most interesting way I've ever been invited to a brothel.
It's England in the 1930s. It's totally legal, probably.
Yeah, I'll go down with you. If you want to learn German, I can certainly speak German with you.
I could use a break.
Great.
I would-
There's nothing weird about 3 guys going to a brothel together. Let's jump in my machine gun armed scout car.
I just want-
Before we go, I did want to suggest a plan. I said it before of taking their items. But if we use that new workshop, and if you don't mind destructive impact, we could set something up to cause a fire to cover any tracks of anything taken after we leave.
What kind of fire are you thinking?
I think some sort of improvised explosive to go off time after we leave to just a house fire in their collection, something that would make it hard to tell was taken.
I don't know about the subtlety. I'm sure we could work together on it, but I dabbled with some explosives in the countryside.
Something to throw around. We can think about it more after we've had time to clear our heads.
Yeah, I'll be ready in, say, 20 minutes. I don't know when you were looking to leave. All right, I'll meet you guys at the Dingo in 20 minutes.
Fantastic.
I want to go to the workshop and check and see how Montre is doing.
It's not going great. It's
That's not. Oh, don't stop. Just stop. That's not how that tool works.
He nods. Yeah.
What
This
are you
is more difficult than tearing apart crappy German engineering. This is
Well, what are you trying to do?
well, that shell over there is everywhere in the storehouse, so I figured I could make my gun shoot those instead of having to carry around the belt of very limited of those that I have.
I see.
He points at the shells that you got with the gun when one of you stole it for him in the first place.
All right. Oh,
Well, he assumed you stole it for him because he's adopted the gun.
how about here? Why don't you start here, and I'll basically set him up with some exact measurements and try to get him to just bore out a barrel to give him somewhere to start, so he's got some easier task to start with to work on his project while we leave. Is there something I could do to maybe help him out? And
Okay, so yeah, I'll need you to make a repair roll at -4. I'll let him do one more time with whatever bonus you may offer him as well. Actually, it's at -3 because of the launch modifier.
and I've definitely got some machining experience. I keep a plane alive.
Have you did firearm machining? This is essentially you're working on copying a barrel and its chamber and changing everything about this gun into something that is made into shooting something it was not made to shoot.
Probably not this extensive.
Yeah. So yeah, it's possible. You're going to be eventually able to do it. You're just going to take some time or just a lucky roll.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do with this here.
Which, as we know, you can get lucky rolls easily. Well, like that. That's how you do it. Okay.
There we go. Here, start like this and measure when you're done. Measure here, here, and here. And if your numbers are all this, then you're good to go. It might take you a couple times, but this will get you started.
Okay, so Montre, you can do it at a -2 now. Close. Do you want to spend a Benny on it?
Why not?
Yes, this is how I get it. Oh, that's it. Yep. So through
Thank
some
goodness for the wild dice.
cursing, frustrating times, you eventually get it to where you can chamber it into the nice available ammo of 30-30 British. I think that's what it's called. I have to double check. Or 330 British, something like that.
I think there's one point there is a little U-bend of metal nearby that he's like constantly glaring at it. He's finally get it right. Like, I told you, you piece of steel.
And I'll just, like, I gave him the pointers and then I walked away to let him work because I do want to check in with Effie before we leave as well.
Yep.
So
now all the barrels are there. No.
There's definitely a small pile of barrels and chambers that are.
I will curse you forever. He'll turn you into spoons and forks. He becomes a blacksmith just to spite the steel. That's why I was made with bronze. It's far superior metal.
Effie, what are you doing?
Probably sitting somewhere and reading her book.
Library or the lounge?
Well, I can't enter the lounge area because there's a wall there.
Should be doors.
Well,
Interesting. Oh, okay.
it wouldn't let me go in the first time.
Interesting. Actually, sorry. The lounge is the library. My mistake.
Yeah, so I guess both.
So the library contains writings of various authors, depending on the subject. A lot of them are amongst Elvin Nash, Bill Turner, and William Tell. There's also a couple of things from Professor Dr. Knickerknacker.
Archibald Knickerknacker?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's my previous character.
The stuff that he has there is on the series about the Night Yorb and Night Yorb related stuff.
Oh my gosh, the Night Yorb. Definitely not made up creature.
Yeah.
Just like a snipe.
There's various other authors too,
Sounds
based
worse.
on for folklore or just historical events, etc., etc. You may proceed.
So Carl walks in and just sort of looks around. I didn't damage the stuff you gave me. I don't think.
You did not.
Okay, good.
Is that
I was trying to be careful with it.
Were you asking, or were you just like stating a fact?
It was a question.
Oh, okay. You did all right.
It seems most of the others are interested in putting together a plan to go aggressively visit Mr. Ulmer.
Aggressively visit. Are you guys gonna start shooting people up again?
I mean, Mr. Dublin he was quick on the idea of returning in kind what happened to us down there, and I don't know what I think about it. That's not really what I envisioned when I took this job.
Is it not?
No, I mean until I started working with this group, all I ever really did was fly people places and wait with the plane. So this has all been almost overwhelming.
You didn't like. You're not like a hitman.
No, no. You thought? Oh, no. I have never been paid to kill people before. As far as I know, until recently, I've never killed anybody before.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
To be entirely honest, I don't know. Just trying to make sure I'm doing what I need to be doing, trying to help out and make sure we're all okay.
Do you need to like sit down and talk about it?
I don't know. Some of us are headed out to get drinks and spend some time out on the town. Maybe getting back and relaxing might put me in a better place. I don't know. It's not something I've really. I just hope this doesn't become a pattern.
The killing people, the getting drunk out on town.
The killing people.
Oh well,
Nice
I
job.
do hope the pattern discontinues.
This does seem like dangerous work. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see.
There's currently a plaque on the wall for the highest number of kills, and then underneath it is Carl's name.
Oh no!
Pondo, why you gotta do him like that, Pondo? Why you gotta do him like
Does
that?
Carl notice any? Is that a thing that Carl notices? Or are you just giving me shit?
You can roll a notice.
Effie just like
Okay, I'll roll a
stand in
notice.
front of it.
No, I'm just giving you shit.
Okay.
Literally over his head, someone's changing. It's a giant sign. Someone's sliding another number on there, like the old school military number, the giant one from the stands. Don't mind me. He's up to 11.
This is not that kind of lodge. We're not a Call of Duty lobby trying to compare kills.
Nobody's making constant awful comments about each other's mothers.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right with everything that's been going on?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
I'm honestly not sure. Everybody seems to be doing just fine with everything that's happened, with everything everybody has heard. And while I certainly don't think I've lost it yet, there's a lot to consider. I've seen and learned a lot, and it's brought up a lot of questions that I thought I was not going to ask myself anymore years ago. So
I see. Well, to be fair, I have had less traumatic things happen to me than you have had to you in the time span. I haven't killed anybody, and I already knew about the stuff you're talking about.
You haven't killed anybody that you saw that you killed.
Yeah.
You probably killed somebody when you knocked down the tree in front of the one guy.
Nah, they were probably fine. They were probably
They
fine.
were all wearing seatbelts. They're fine.
Sure.
It was a truck full of. It was a truck full of strawberry jam.
Actually, Effie might have the highest kill streak so far, actually.
Ghost, I have not seen myself kill anybody, so probably fine. They're
I think
probably
there's a
fine.
lot of competition, no matter where you look.
Oh, geez.
I
I
haven't killed
Yeah.
anyone.
An evil Effie with a knife walks by and like puts the knife behind her back.
I know Sean's been interested in learning some languages. I don't know if he might ask you, but he seems really ambitious. He wants to learn a lot of languages really quickly.
That's always good.
I don't know if you're a teacher or if you've taught before, but that's something that might come up, I guess. Aside from relaxing, I'm hoping that at some point while we're doing whatever it is we're going to do with our time here, then maybe you could show me more about what we talked about before.
I could try.
No, only if you're willing. I'm just trying to learn.
If you're capable of it, we can try looking at some more stuff.
Okay. All right. I told him I was going to meet him a couple of minutes ago, so enjoy your read. And he turns and leaves. He'll head over to the Dingo for our night at a brothel.
So I want to be clear. When Sean arrives, he throws a mad stack of money around and insists that Harlen and Carl live it up. And then he finds whoever's in charge and is like, look, what I'm really here for are language lessons, okay? And I don't want people to see how hard I have to work in order to learn this. I'm looking for a contractual obligation with several, preferably young women, but whoever you have on staff that speak the following languages. Privacy is a must. No one can know that I was here, and not for the reasons you think. Again, I have no problem with being seen at a brothel. I just don't want to be seen working hard at things. I have a reputation.
Oh, so
But I
you're one
say
of
it all
them
very
folks.
Irishly.
You don't realize how normal that is.
I don't care how normal it is. All I care about is my reputation as a playboy who doesn't have to work very hard for good things to happen to him.
Sure.
Look, this is a giant pile of British pounds, okay? It's got the king's face on them. Do you want it or not?
You're not letting me finish.
Pound of pounds.
All those languages except the one that's a dead language, you should be fine. You find someone that could teach you.
You don't know any priests?
This
Any
is a
hot
brothel.
nuns?
Why do we need priests?
Oh, Pondo. All right, well. No one ever gets married here? Let's go with that. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll find a hot nun on my own, privately.
Or you could look
off-screen.
for an archaeologist, whichever the two.
An archaeologist? I don't know any archaeologists, I say. Then I turn and go, wait, I do know an archaeologist.
You do know
But
an
wait,
archaeologist.
I can't be seen working hard at doing things.
Then pretend to not be working hard. I don't like.
Ugh, that's so much effort. Look, give me what you got. German, Russian, Japanese, let's go. Chop, chop. I mean, look, Japan's real big here in Britain right now. You know, we gave them curry powder. We sold them some really sweet battle cruisers, or what are we calling them now? Fast battleships. It's sick as hell. It's
Cruisers.
the Congo line. They're very popular.
Yeah. So, again, all those, easy. Fine. Easy peasy. Latin, good luck.
I'll figure it out on my own, brothel master or mistress.
We'll say it's a guy.
All right. Well, I play a lot of chess and do a lot of literature and poetry readings with 3 young women trying to learn 3 new languages at the same time. Yeah, you thought this was going to go someplace, and I took it a different place, motherfuckers.
I wasn't
Explore best.
expecting
That's the
anything.
Sean
so-
Dublin way.
I believed him.
Okay, I think there was talks about making, I don't know what kind of explosives or
I mean,
volatile
it sounds like
devices.
we're making a Molotov cocktail or an Irish car bomb. I mean, this is not difficult work.
An incendiary explosive, a timed incendiary explosive.
Okay, that's a lot harder.
That's a little bit more work. Yeah.
Not really. Other than the haha, it's England, it's always raining weather. Like, what season is it right now?
It is. Say it's
I
summer.
like that you think that's a joke.
It is rain
I mean-
season. No,
I'm gonna get James in here to put a boot up everybody's ass.
We'll say it's the late summertime, so August. What the weather is like at that period of time, I do not know. I should have checked, but
It's raining. It's fucking England, dude.
okay. Fair enough. So adding the timed element into the incendiary thing does make it a little more difficult. Obviously, Molotovs, easy. Take a little bit of engine oil, oil, mix it in with the alcohol, cloth, light it, you're good to go. But essentially, you're making a grenade, right?
I mean, does Harlen want this to be something you throw, or is it something you place and run away?
Place and leave.
I'll use a jar and ice. A jar, ice, and a battery.
What?
And that way we can get a spark, and we'll just put it next to a thing. And then we leave, and eventually the ice melts, and it sparks off.
Okay, so we're not going explosive. We're going incendiary, meaning fire with a little explosion. Okay.
For some reason, I'm doubting that at the house we have enough stuff to make a complex IED here. So
no. Where are you taking the battery from, I should say?
I mean, we can just buy a battery.
Okay.
I mean, let me amend that. I'm sure Sean can buy a battery.
Yeah, fair. I don't think people would know about the that trick you just did, generally speaking. No.
And we just, put it in his garage and light the whole town on fire.
Okay, now I'm just imagining
Don't worry
running
about
around
the things.
with a big old car battery.
Don't worry about these things I'm coming up with. No biggie.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my plan. Keep it really simple so it's really easy for Harlen to do. And until he hooks up the battery, it's safe.
Listen.
So if we have to abort, then it just melts and it doesn't do anything bad to him.
Listen, no matter how easy you do it, a critical failure will cause it just to blow up in his face. I just want you to know this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just trying to make it so that it's only a critical failure and it's not like a skill roll to set the thing up,
I mean, I will do a skill roll just because it will be pretty much a success. It's just complications that may occur if it's not a full success.
Okay. I'll give Harlen something that if it doesn't work, it's entirely his fault. And I'll try to make it easy for him so there's no penalties for it being complex and weird or anything.
Yeah. So essentially, when he goes to make this, he'll make a roll. If he succeeds, it goes exactly as planned. If he fails a roll, there will be a complication, as in it may go off sooner or later than you expect. If it's critical failure, it just blows up immediately in his face, and
he's on fire.
Hopefully he survives.
I mean, it's probably raining. Just run outside and roll around.
Just roll in the mud. Actually, the mud is probably the best way to cover yourself from not being on fire anymore.
And as far as the night on the town, all Carl does is use all that money to buy way too much alcohol, try to share it with as many people as possible, and see how many people he can rope into drinking songs until he's dragged back into the dingo.
Okay.
He devolves into just German because he's too drunk to speak English anymore. Then comes back, wakes up next day, makes a bomb.
Okay, well, the way you said that was really frightening.
Well, does anybody want to make any modifications to their weapons other than what Montre did to his? Sound pretty much. You can put I don't know if it took out the ammo for your gun when you used it full auto.
Yes.
But you can pretty much.
It didn't do it automatically, but I've been just altering it myself.
Okay, you can just put yourself back to full.
I'll just put me back to a spare set of 50.
Yeah, and then you just want to keep just 50 rounds on you after the 100 in your thing?
Yeah, just in case.
Sounds good.
If I blow through 100 and I still need 50 more, it's a bad day, but they do happen.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
I don't have the rapid fire feat that lets me make my rate of fire even higher yet.
Oh, God.
You already have
Carl.
4. What do you need 5 for?
I don't know yet.
To have 5, I guess.
I can take it twice and get to 6.
Correct answer is we don't know yet. I'm sure you'll show us.
Or I'll find it by accident, I'm sure.
Fair enough.
Carl doesn't need to change anything. 12 gauge is 12 gauge.
Just don't use the shot. Apparently those are cursed.
Yeah, he just like gets back and he just exchanges the whole box.
So you're
Yeah.
full slugs now?
No, I think he'd come back and just take like the shot that he has and just sort of like discard it and just replace all that shot. Just like this batch must have been bad. I'll get some from a different batch.
Yes, because that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean that's what he thinks.
That's what Montre thought. Whatever you're doing with that gun and his gun was bad. Don't do that anymore.
Okay. Harlan?
Harlen should be all good. His pistol seems good enough. Seems great.
Fair enough. Okay, so what's the general plan for setting this escapade up?
I'm gonna call him.
Okay. It'll ring at least 2 times before someone picks up. From what you recall, this is not him, but probably just some sort of servant. The Ulmer residence. How may I assist you?
Yes, I am an Irishman named Sean Dublin, and I'm speaking very Irishly to you. I am a family friend of Mr. Ruslan Omer, and I find myself wanting to sit down and reminisce about old times and perhaps talk about a future business partnership. Is there a time of early convenience that works good for all involved parties?
One moment, I will check with the master. There is no hold music. You're kind of just, he just sets it to his side, not hang up on you.
Just hear the clatter of the.
Yeah.
It's a table.
And like the stomp, the steps away.
I do the
About-
hold music myself. Bum, ba, 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 ba.
It's going to be a big hit. Hold music. Future. About 10-15 minutes later, he returns. Would tomorrow work? About 30 minutes after noon.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure we can get anywhere in the country of England in less than a day.
Very well.
I will be bringing a small party of business partners with me, including my archaeologists. He may be interested to know that I am bringing such a partner with me for our business discussion. I will see you then. Sorry, what was your name, Butler?
Beauregard.
Very well, Beauregard. I shall see you then tomorrow as well. Have a good eve.
Have a good eve.
I am the phone.
So, are you driving up there, taking train?
We are in Europe. We should take a train. I get a private car for us. You know what? I get 3 private cars for us.
Give me a wealth
I mean,
roll.
I want one for myself, and then there should be one for Effie, right? And then there'll be like a general car that everybody else sleeps in. We take a trip.
Carl would also.
Private rooms rather than private cars.
Carl
you need
will
a whole,
also.
You want me to take a public sleeping car? Ridiculous.
Carl would also hit up Sean at some point about going back and getting the nice clothes. Go back to the tailor so they can get fixed or replaced.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've probably been beaten up or shot several times at this point. You definitely were involved in an arson, so yeah. I actually don't take you. What I do is I call the tailor and I tell them to just put whatever you get on my tab.
Okay.
I don't feel like I need to go back. I mean, I have plenty of clothes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, listen, Arnie, I'm sending the German back to you again. Yes, that one. Yes, the one that smells of motor grease. Yes, he's scuffed up his clothes a bit. Yes, I know that we of the British Isles have understatement. So yes, they're more than just scuffed up, but I deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much, Arnie. All right, get out of here. Arnie's waiting for you.
Thank you, Sean. And I'll go take care of that.
I pour myself a Jameson.
I think that's all the stuff I need to do before heading out.
Okay. AP,
Yes.
give me a wealth roll.
I hate having to do this.
It's one of the few rolls you make.
That
Can't
doesn't mean
slide
I
into it.
should be making it.
You're
Look,
one in
I'm-
3 individual cars. You got to out-wealth someone else.
Great, I did. I
You
had
did
an
indeed.
11. I got a 12. How did I get? Oh, because I have a +1 to
Plus
wealth.
one, yeah.
I had 12.
Because
Did
you're
he
an
get a
aristocrat.
bonus? Did he get a bonus for his raises?
Huh?
Did he get a bonus for his raises?
We get dinner car service. They just deliver us all of our meals to us while we're on the train.
So essentially your bonus for the raise is that you can take the dingo with you. You just get a separate car that it stashed on, essentially.
Amazing. Sure. We take the dingo from the station to his house and back. Perfect. Amazing.
Montre drives the dingo. It's follow you guys.
What? I didn't. No. Get on the goddamn train.
No, I'm saying afterwards the train. It's kind of hard to.
No, I'm
do
gonna
it.
drive it's my car.
Okay, I thought you weren't
I'm
going to work
driving
so
my
hard.
dingo. Listen, just because I'm not skilled at
Okay.
driving doesn't mean I don't want to drive.
Yeah,
That puts me in the same place as about 50% of all people ever.
yeah, and in the servant class because that's who people are driving people. But, you know,
Hey, listen,
it's fine.
I'm a rich person. I can
Mhm,
drive my own fancy car. All right.
You can. You're completely capable. I agree. I bet the other guy doesn't.
Montre, let's just get on the train.
That's not Montre said it. He would just. Montre doesn't care what he does in his stupid car.
I'm not bringing the shotgun.
You're not bringing the shotgun.
I have in Carl's mind there is no feasible way to smuggle that into some sort of rich people social event.
I bring my shotgun.
I mean, he'll leave it in the dingo. That's what I mean. Like he's not gonna put it in a bag and try to cart it into the house or anything.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that would be crazy. But we bring our shotguns, and I look at Carl and I say, very Irishly, "Oh, excellent choice. We might go hunting later today." Ruslan is weird like that. You know how it is with weird rich people. Sometimes right before they reveal their villainous plan, they like take you hunting or boating or to like a weird genetics laboratory on Cuba or a caviar shop or listen, if you don't stop me, I'm gonna keep going through James Bond plots.
I don't even know what the word genetics means, but it would be neat to go on a boat.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, you're German and your government has been posting about genetics nonstop for years. Okay, there's no way you don't know what genetics means.
He probably only knows. Well, now I got to check, see if it's a shared word or not. But
yeah, there's another word about eugenics that you guys are talking about a lot too. But let's not get that dark.
Okay, it's close, and it's apparently close enough that he would know.
As we're driving, I get everyone's attention. I'm like, all right, look, the plan going forward is entirely peaceful. We don't have to fight Ruslan. There's a possibility that we can just use money and opportunity to get him to give us whatever he has already that our organization can use and set up for a future partnership. Effie, I know I haven't briefed you on this, but I'm going to be relying on you heavily during this meeting since you know what we're looking for in his house, but also, I might need to tempt him with things we've done in the past or things you know about, and I don't know anything about your magic powers, so I can't say anything about that in character.
Not that you would believe them anyways.
Wait, what? What do you want me to do? I wasn't listening.
Oh, just
She closes
keep an
the door.
eye out. Keep an eye out in his house for anything of value. And I might need you to chime in during the conversation to help tempt him into joining our side. So we need to identify things in his house that relate to our work, archaeologically speaking, for what's our organization called?
SITREP.
SITREP. Anything SITREP might need, start categorizing it. And yeah, you're an expert in the shared field that we know Ruslan has. We might need you to sweet talk him a little into coming to our side.
I'm not a very good sweet talker.
I know, I'm the sweet talker, but I can't just make things up all the time. I know that that's my job in this group, is to make things up all the time. But at some point, this conversation will have to be one of substance. And I hope to rely on you to provide the substance that I will then fill with bullshit. a container filled with bullshit that looks good.
I see.
What do you need me to do?
I don't know. Honestly, I guess I was hoping the rest of you would just wander around or make a distraction so that Harlen can do his part, right? Harlen, aren't you some sort of we've literally never used you for this, but aren't you some sort of espionage expert?
I've done this on each trip we've been on.
Can we hide you inside of Montre's trench coat?
No,
No, that's ridiculous. If you got caught, you'd be in trouble.
there's
No,
not enough room
look.
for another person.
Harlen, just find some way to break apart from the rest of the group.
Yes, that was my plan.
Great.
We asked Effie for some help locating or getting a hint in the location of the goods we are searching for. But
Carl, Montre, I don't have any specific mission for the two of you. All I can ask and beg, tears weeping from my eyes, is please don't fuck this up.
I'm going to
And
stay
I'm
with
not
the
I'm
car.
not really talking to you about that, Carl.
Montre's going to sigh and say, "I'll stay with the car."
Montre, no. You have been I'm choking back the words. You have been pivotal in the past. It's just that everything I know that you've been involved with normally gets set on fire or destroyed. And then there was that weird knife that you found. What did we do with that thing?
Gave it to the professor.
Turned it in.
That was our
You
job.
turned it in, yes.
So far, we're 100%.
I'm surprised no one tried to ask about that yet, actually. But
I turned to the game master in the car, and I'm just like, well, I don't care. It's just a normal knife, right?
no, but that's what you think. You think it's normal.
That's what
And
I in character am saying to you, the game master, also in character. I assume you're in the car with us. I'm just like, it's just a normal knife, right?
Yeah, I'm in the most precarious situation. I'm like
On the
hanging
roof,
barely on like the
crouching down.
Yeah.
Indeed. Everything checks out from the window.
I'm sitting on the
What's
front
on
hood
the
as you're driving. Yes.
You
What
know
is
what, Montre? I have a
Mhm.
plan. You and I will stick together, and you pretend you can't talk. We'll say that you were injured or something, and then we
He taps his face, which is just a globe. Dunk, dunk. I don't believe that'll be difficult.
right, and then we'll just make sure we're nearby in case somebody needs some help.
He nods.
And then Carl will look over at Sean like, "Yeah."
All right, I nod. It's pretty good problem solving.
Okay. Let me bring you.
I
on
also
over then.
invent drifting while we're here.
I doubt you'd invent drifting, but sure.
I mean, with his driving skill,
Oh, I
he
definitely
does.
invent 100%. I 100% invent drifting.
The other two
It's just
people
not
with good driving skills are cringing whenever he moves. That's an hour of repairs when we get back.
The alignment is going to be so fucked.
Where are you? What are you doing with the dingo?
Parking it outside.
Are you leaving
there
the machine
something
gun
special?
visible?
I don't even know that we brought the machine gun.
Okay.
We're driving through England, right? Do we have a reason to bring a machine gun?
I don't.
Pondo, are we about to get ambushed? You know what? Don't answer that.
No, you're
Just
not.
know, if we are, I'm going to be very upset that I don't have a machine gun.
Yeah.
Either way, I'll be upset. And neither is yeah, my not yet named one is also disassembled into a trunk.
Yeah. So essentially, when you get there, there's a valet that will take your car and park it pretty much over there, as there's no real good parking spots at this estate. It was not designed for cars.
Okay.
Retrieving the explosive will be trouble, but all right.
So I guess the other point is anybody hopping off before getting to said mansion to do what they need to do?
Are you rolling solo, Harlan? Or are you coming with us in and then going to have to try to find a way to retrieve the explosive?
It's probably easier to break off and have an excuse if I'm just with the part of the group.
Okay. So this shouldn't end badly at all.
Or who?
When you say it like that, I become disappointed.
Now, if I have a question, Pondo,
Okay.
my card.
What is your card?
If I play my card, will that last for the whole time we're at the house? Or is that just like for a conversation type thing?
I'm showing people your card, not on accident. I shouldn't be. Do Do you care if others know about your card?
Not if I play it and it lasts for the whole time we're in the house.
So essentially, your hero dresses up is on for the night, or is otherwise far more attractive or personable than usual. Add +2 for the persuasion rolls for the duration of the current scene. So the other thing is, you could trade with someone that could use that, or you could use it yourself. And yes, it would be for the entire night, or for as long as you're essentially here.
I will trade you my sacrifice card.
Sure. I don't know what that is, but it seems like you'll definitely use this.
So it's his card is play when
someone else's damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I would love for you to have that. I'll definitely take your card.
Okay. We're supposed to do this part at the beginning of the session, but it doesn't matter at this point.
We're learning.
So, and I'll give this to...
I gave my card to AP. It just needs to click pass and give it to me. The other one. Yeah, there it is.
Passed it. I believe everybody has, unless I didn't set to where people can look at other people's hands.
Yeah, I can. I just don't.
I don't know if I can. I haven't tried.
I believe I set to everybody observer, but yeah, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, I can see Kane's.
So if I play this right now, it'll last as long as we're in the house?
Yes.
Okay, I play it immediately. And if this is an anime, I would have like 2 or 3 stars coming off either side of my head to indicate how handsome I am right now.
What?
I look exactly the same in every way, but I spontaneously generate anime stars.
Of course.
So they got the rosy cheeks.
Yeah, I mean, Carl will walk next to Montre, make it look like he's sort of leading Montre around, and I'll stay just behind Sean so he can lead the way in.
Okay. Harlen, I guess I should ask, where do you want to enter in from? You should have access to your token. If you don't, I'll have to fix that real quick.
I think I'm just going to go with them. I'm going to get, be wearing, kind of a, I think butler outfit is going to be my, guys for this. So I'm attending to, Sean have his bags, but a bag. Well, how large is the bomb?
Sorry, we brought a bomb?
I thought we did.
I remember you making the bomb. I don't remember it being part of this trip.
He asked me to make one for him, so I did.
Crazy. Oh my god. Well, all right. This just got 10,000 times worse than what it could have been.
It doesn't mean he's gonna use it.
No, don't let me interrupt. Please continue with your plan to bomb a building we're all currently in.
Bomb it. Whatever one we leave.
So
it's probably like the size of 2 vases taped together.
Yeah. So you need about a medium-sized bag to carry it, essentially.
Like a large briefcase, or a
large briefcase would be more accurate. Yeah.
All right.
Rolls up with a push cart, a wheelbarrow full of pots. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, he'll probably be carrying around a briefcase with likely some maybe some false backing, some clothing, covering it for now.
Right.
But otherwise dressed as a butler to be attending to Sean, but also have a reason to not be there when he's having important business discussions.
Okay. So I guess I should ask, where are you after arriving and everybody enters in to go into essentially the foyer? Where are you buggering off to? Are you still following them inside?
I'll probably first just try and speak with Effie. Effie? Oh, I'll just drag her aside for a moment. Is there any chance we're looking for artifacts of power as well? Is there any chance you might be able to tell where they are?
I am not sure. Sometimes I can tell if somebody's died here, though. And sometimes tell if there's a dead body. Do you want me to do that?
Yes. Perhaps one of the artifacts has something to do with death as well. That might be a good chance.
Can I see if there's a dead body around here?
Make a focus. See if you sense spirits. Do you have a +2?
Do I?
Seems like it. Fix that later. But no, yeah, you do sense that there are some spirits lingering in the area. what they might be tied to. It's hard to tell at the moment. If you had to say, they are either pretty much on the northern side of this estate.
On the northern side of the state, there's some dead things.
Well, thank you. Then Harlen will go off towards, let's see, here, I'll ask, let's see, for now, he'll ask one of the, let's see, attendants, excuse me, sir, is there a storage area in this manner?
Yes, the northern side of the estate. Is your party planning to stay long?
No, Sean simply has a number of items of great import that he had me bring along that would be improper to be carrying around all day. I trust your master and his security, and believe it would be best to keep it with the rest of your items for the moment.
I see. Well, you can either take it to the storage area over to the northeast, or I suppose you can put it into the stock hold with the rest of the food and stuff in the kitchen to the direct north. So here.
I thank you for your assistance.
Or there.
And then Harlen will, pick off.
Carl is definitely following Sean, hoping for social cues. He has no idea what to do except try not to muck it up.
So about, I'd say about 15, 20 minutes after you guys arrive, or waiting in the foyer, while Harlan's doing his thing, kind of buggering off to go investigate the northern area, the Ruslan Omer does arrive. He is about average height, that looks to be about in his early 50s, late 40s. He has long, wavy white hair, clean-shaven face, fair, pale skin, and a light reddish-brown eyes. His attire seems to be something out of Victorian age. The coat is deep blue suede with crimson trimmings, long tail, sharp-pointed shoulders. He has a white ruffly shirt. The pants are a deep bluish black, and the shoes are a shined black leather. He also carries on a polished mahogany cane that is topped with a silver eagle head, and a gold chain that seems to be attached to a pocket watch that is, in his coat pocket.
Ruslan, old man, that shirt makes you positively look like some sort of Southeast Asian pirate. And I have to say, what a handsome eagle you have on top of the cane. Do you have any relationship to the Nazi regime?
Sean, that's an odd set of questions odd set of question after the weird compliments that you gave me. Though it's interesting to see you.
That you look like a dashing Southeast Asian pirate is an excellent compliment.
Yes. I just found it
I'm
odd
a
that
bod adventure like yourself.
Yes, I just found it odd that you suddenly got into contact with me as of late. It's been quite some time.
That's true, but I have reason to learn you and I may be in the similar business.
Care to elaborate?
Let's sit down and allow me to introduce my companion.
Okay, he will just take you to probably like this room. That's his most loungy room.
Okay. As I gesture for Effie to sit down, I'm going to push her chair in and say, I don't know that you've ever introduced yourself as a doctor. I'm going to say, my archaeologist friend, Effie Dawson from Andorra, which is a wonderful, very real country that exists on the border of France and Spain. But I say it all very Irishly.
Pleasure.
Do we know that? Do we know that's where Effie's from? I thought we were being bamboozled on where Effie was from.
This is what I have written down.
I don't know if anybody's directly asked, but she would have told them if they did.
Okay.
She also sounds French. I just don't do accents. I don't know how.
You can just say that you're doing an accent.
I could do that, yes.
5 or 6 times an episode, and people will understand.
Hearing where you're from, he will he'll greet you in French, saying, "Pleasure, mademoiselle. Please have a seat."
I lean forward and I say, I don't understand what you just said.
Nice to meet you, she'll repeat in French.
Just greetings in French. Please.
Carl will shuffle Montre into this corner, and then he'll stand next to him. If he's not being introduced, he's gonna stand to the side. He doesn't know how this works.
So as you guys were entering and getting inside, there is several hired guards for the area. Probably 2 at the gate, 2 at the front door, and then there's now 2 probably sitting outside your room. The door was shut behind you, but you could definitely still hear them stepping into place on the hardwood floor. And
you certainly up security, my good man. Do you have some reason to believe you might be attacked?
Well, you know the business I tend to go into, same one that your parents do on occasion.
Totally legitimate land holding and sheep farming business mixed with politics?
I think he just starts to laugh, not hysterically, but
I also laugh.
in the pompous, I'm trying to think of the expression. Essentially saying, I get the joke you're making. Ha ha, it's funny. I would do the annoying Japanese pompous laugh.
Yeah, I tried to do it, and Discord doesn't accept that as being the human voice, so it won't pick it up. Even no matter how loud I do it.
That's fair. Discord is probably right for doing so, to be honest.
I know it's just what's on the picture right now, but is there in fact actually food out?
No, probably.
I think Carl has been standing still for too long, so he looks over at Montre and says, "Just stay right here." And he's going to walk over and go grab a snack for himself. So he's doing something.
So it's
he's
like
getting
these
kind of antsy.
small finger foods with some breads that's already sliced up. Stuff like that. Nothing, a charcuterie board, essentially.
But yeah, he's going to go over and do something with his hands.
As I do.
Montre just watches you. He just follows you with his face.
So again, what do I owe the pleasure from you, Sean?
My understanding is that you have some association with archaeology, yes? You're looking for scattered remnants of the ancient past?
I have been in the looks of it, those mainly to hopefully procure and use as tax write-offs.
Well.
Also to have his collection as knickknacks and things to mount on the wall.
Let me say this then. As you know, my family is into the politics of the nation of Ireland, and certainly we could rewrite some tax laws to more closely align with your goals. My archaeologist here is interested in special pieces, and we'd love to create a business partnership where, in order to complete a collection for our employer, we would look over what you have and pay you handsomely, and in whatever way that I can help arrange through my family's efforts, make sure that you pay even less on your taxes. We're rich. We don't have to do anything for the country. We're job creators. The country works for us.
Of course, of course. How did you learn that I was looking for these relics?
I turn to Effie and I go, how did we learn?
Word gets around the archaeology community.
I turn back to him and I say, yes, it's a trade secret how we learned, but word gets around the archaeology community.
I suppose there hasn't been much business after the Bone Wars.
I'm sorry, did you say the Bone Wars?
Yes.
What is the Bone Wars?
It was an intense competitive fossil hunting discovery in the American West.
Indeed.
Wow, you learn something every day.
Essentially, these groups of people would quite literally practically fight each other over these bones, and it led to a lot of mixed matched bones that still discovering are not actually what they're supposed to be today.
Well, it's not like I would like to say that, that there's a Sean Raptor out there, like a raptor named after me. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I am ridiculously wealthy. I could do that. Let me think about that. Let me shelve that. Meanwhile, back in the here and now in reality, obviously my companion and our employer have heard so much about Well, we've heard almost nothing about your collection. We'd just like an opportunity to look through it, find whatever works for us, and pay you handsomely for the opportunity to take it off your hands.
I suppose I should ask, what are you looking for specifically?
I turn to look at Effie and I say, what are we looking for specifically?
Do we have something that we're specifically looking for out of character?
I mean, I assume artifacts that Sitrep is looking for, so magical shit, but I don't know that.
We're not on a job right now. This is our own initiative, so it's entirely up to you, I guess.
We've recently begun doing some research in items that was supposed to hold a spiritual or otherworldly myths about them.
Like Carl is fighting his urges right now, so now he's gonna start like sniffing drinks to see if he can find any alcohol to drink with his little cheese and crackers.
I mean, it's probably a bottle of wine, yeah.
He starts drinking the wine.
It
He's
has,
definitely not doing it in a cultured way.
the wine tastes a little bit odd. Almost like a slight metallic ting to it.
What?
I think he'll just take a sip of it and just sort of be like, and just like look around to try to find somewhere to put the glass down and pull out his flask and start drinking.
Fair.
Just sort of like doing these things on the side while he's trying to keep himself from causing any problems, but he is so bored.
So let me understand. You're looking for items that possess magical properties? Spiritual properties?
Magical properties. Please, we're adults. Spiritual properties. Yes, certainly.
I see.
I mean, it's not like you have the Holy Grail back there, do you?
No, that was destroyed about a couple years ago, at least supposedly.
That's ridiculous. The Holy Grail can't be destroyed. Its very essence is the well-being of the Isle of Britain. I mean, that's the whole legend of the Holy Grail.
Of course. Of course. That's why it was allegedly destroyed. It's obviously Britain
Look,
is still
I understand how art history works. You pretend to destroy something, and then when a copy is mysteriously found, you can sell the copy for like $80 million.
Of course.
You keep the original in a vault somewhere. You use it in insurance scams. You use it as part of loan schemes. It's okay. Look, we're all friends here. We know how art forgery and fraud works. I don't need to re-explain it.
Indeed, but from what you do believe, yes, there is, well, magic in the world in many forms. And I have put in a piqued interest in it as of late.
So it sounds like we're all in agreement.
Though I don't know, I should ask, how much are you wanting to spend to procure such items?
Obviously, they would need to be analyzed on a piece-by-piece basis, but I'm sure we can come to a reasonable gentleman's agreement between two old friends.
Very well. He'll do a quick clap of his hands, and then you guys can hear one of the guards outside the door start meandering off. I'll bring some.
What is he going to go do?
To procure some of the items to bring over here.
How could he possibly know that you were going to send him off with a clap to do that?
He was able to hear our conversation.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
I would assume from context clues he would understand that the clap was the go-ahead to go get said items for you to look at. I guess just cut away to Harlen real quick. Where are you setting up this bomb?
Right now, I'm just storing it so I can see.
Okay.
I'm not like activating it.
Okay, so you're just setting it to the side.
Yep.
Okay. So where's your next stop as far as...
There, it's planning to start looking for it. First, I'm going to search this place. Like, is there a lock to is this like an actual basement here?
Yes, but it's pretty much just a wine cellar. There's nothing of major note down there.
Then the plan is to start looking for wherever they're keeping the artifacts. Which.
So you mean the one place we know a guard is directly headed towards?
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
Understood. I appreciate that. I appreciate your commitment. Guess I'll
Looking
die.
to like these buildings over here, do any of them look particularly nice or like a place where you would go, like the master of the man would go?
Okay. So essentially, this area is the servant quarters. That's where they stay and sleep. Obviously, that's the kitchen. There's a basement to the kitchen, and then recreational area. I would say major meeting and dining area, library.
Harlan will, then let's
Okay.
see if he's allowed start entering the main building heading towards the group, because I believe that if it's not out in one of these buildings, it must be in somewhere in here.
After doing your situation and you're getting ready to enter the building, you do see a kind of guard go into the kitchen.
Oh, so like behind me?
Yeah.
Is there any way I would know? Find a reasonable way that Harlan would understand that, oh, he's going to go get the artifacts. I assume he's getting wine or something. So Harlan will continue on and meet up with, Sean.
Fair enough. Yeah, so there's outside the room, as you ran, you see one guard standing outside of it, which you can probably assume that's where the other one was, as most of the guards around here are in stacks of 2. Eventually in that room, you see everybody else. Carl kind of raiding the snacks area. Montre just standing in the corner staring, seemingly staring, while Effie and Sean are in the chairs next to each other, facing the gentleman that you assume is probably Ruslan Ulmer.
Pardon my intrusion. Master Dublin, I have placed your items away. Is there anything else you require at the moment? And Harlan will try and give a little emphasis on his voice to say that he's not really asking. He's trying to get hints.
This must be AP trying to figure out how to give a hint without.
I was muted.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what I said was I stand up and I go talk to him. I do like the thing where 2 people are standing uncomfortably close together, whispering in each other's ear in order to keep a secret. And I say, he just sent a man to go bring artifacts to us. I'm not sure we want to compromise this situation, but if you believe that you are skilled enough that you can investigate, figure out where that guy went, let him get past you, and investigate the situation.
Harlan will partially loudly say, yes, Master Dublin, I will make certain that everything is prepared whenever you are ready to leave.
Fantastic. I sit down.
Thank you. I apologize for my intrusion. Harlan will make his way back out towards where he saw the guard going by.
He's American. He doesn't understand manners. I'm so sorry.
So you whispered that to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I even described myself leaning in as weirdly as possible.
Okay.
I'm so fucking worried, dude.
Of course. Everybody knows that Americans are not that wise.
Why are you freaking out, Kain?
Because I'm looking at the chat log and the rolls that are happening. I drank that wine and I'm worried it's going to kill me.
3s are very low. That's good for us, right?
I don't know.
Is there when we see Carl, do we see that he looks like he's extremely drunk or ill or something? You said that there is
I think
something
this is
wrong
Kain
with
being
this wine,
paranoid
right?
because I rolled dice.
I mean, you didn't just roll die. You described the wine as tasting metallic.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that he did, that he consciously did outwardly, was he was a little bit, he took a sip and then he definitely did the whole ugh, and then put it down. So
yeah, it's just a rich people thing.
Okay. Allow me to introduce my other companion, by the way. Did we bring Montre with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's standing quietly in the corner.
I say,
The statue in the corner.
My 2 companions with us, Montre, a veteran of the Great War who lost the ability to speak, and my automobile driver and mechanic, Carl.
A pleasure, mister.
Charmed. What's with your friend's helmet?
Montre lifts his head up and taps at his throat.
He
Just kind of
was
a finger motion, like he can't talk.
As I mentioned, veteran of the Great War. We don't really talk about it. It's quite rude.
I help him with things. He was quite badly injured.
I see.
Montre is my accountant.
He gives a slight quizzical look.
You think it's unusual to bring an accountant to a business deal?
No, it's just he does not seem to be the accountant type, but I should know not to fully
I put my elbows on the table very rudely and I lean over so that there's some emphasis and I say, my good Ruslan, you should never judge a book by its cover. You might be surprised at what people are capable of.
I suppose. I'm charmed to meet you as well, even though you cannot speak back.
He'll just bow his head.
So, Sean, what is your dealings with the artifacts? I know you tend not to believe in the supernatural or the otherworldly.
As I mentioned, I don't believe in the supernatural. I believe these have religious value, spiritual value.
I suppose in some cases, but majority not. What?
Look, the way you disprove magic and those things is by investigating it. And as you know, I, Sean Dublin, am Ireland's premier investigative reporter.
Interesting.
I'm not certain I'm working on a story about this, but, you know, as a reporter, you keep a number of things up in the air when you're a roving independent like myself. This sort of walks the line between personal and professional interests. Have you had any dealings in the extra normal and supernatural?
In my line of living, yes. After a long time.
Oh, interesting. What can you tell me?
I feel like Carl's gonna go over to the door and he's just gonna like open it just enough to like peek out and see the guard out there. Excuse me.
What?
Do you have something else to drink? I tried the wine and it's got some weird, I don't know if there might be, I don't know. It didn't taste quite right. I'm trying to get it out of my mouth.
Ah, rich person wine. Hey. He just reaches in his coat pocket, pulls out a flask. There you go.
Oh, thank you. And he'll just give him he'll tap his forehead in a salute, take a swig, and then hand it back.
Montre's head's just like slowly turning towards you, like, what?
And then he'll go stand next to Montre and try to cool his heels.
So one of the artifacts I have in my possession actually has the ability to give off a protective barrier for an instance. It was interesting when it happened.
Can you demonstrate this to us?
Absolutely, once my man comes back.
Fantastic.
Hey, Harlen, can you give me a stealth roll?
Love stealth, love sneaking and thieving. Oh, gonna Benny that.
I'd hope so. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Oh, it was almost did it twice. Yeah. No, you were able to sneak and trail this guard pretty well after you catch back up to him. He does go down into the basement of the kitchen. You're not quite able... Well, you do see that he pretty much opens a secret door that leads into a separate room, kind of hidden away in the basement.
Harlan will stand by for now, just memorizing how he opened it, and then just kind of like finding a place to hide in the room.
So you can easily find a place to hide. Like there's like a stack of crates here and there that you can just pop behind real quick. You're small enough to do that. You're not quite able to see how he opens it. You just see the general area. Yeah. After about like 5 or 10 minutes, he steps back out and leaves. The door closes behind him, essentially. Or the passage closes behind him.
All right. As soon as he leaves, I'm going to, as soon as he's like out of, leaves,
pretty much when he goes back upstairs and heads out.
Yep, I'm going to try and open it myself.
Give me a notice. So as you're feeling around and kind of touching, see what might be out of place, you kind of find a spot where the stone kind of pushes in slightly, to which you just go ahead and push it in, and the doorway starts to open again.
Harlan will enter.
So you enter in a room that is pretty much filled with all these different artifacts. To you, it's hard to tell if any of them might have magical properties, but stuff that looks like from ancient civilizations, Greek, Roman, Egyptian, etc., etc. There's a big Spartan shield. There's a Egyptian crown that could have been probably from a pharaoh. It's hard to tell.
For now, Harlen will just make mental note and then leave.
Fair enough. So for the main group back in the meeting with Ruslan, the other guard comes back. He's holding one item, which is an amulet. Another one that is a ring. And then last one that's kind of like a cloak. Would one of you care to try on the amulet?
Carl is so bored. He's like,
My apologies. Yes, Carl should do it. I need to, in and out of character, go to the bathroom real quick. So good luck, Carl.
Very much. Would you want us to wait?
Oh, no. If you're going to be doing the magic, you should definitely continue without me. I give him a wink in the process.
So Carl will walk up and then it occurs to him to say, what exactly is this supposed to do?
When it senses the need, it will send off essentially a warding barrier that will stop you from getting hit by a projectile.
He looks over at Effie with a meaningful PC glance of, should I do this?
She shrugs.
He'll put the ring on.
The amulet, yeah.
The amulet, yeah. He's volunteered. He'll do it.
Okay. So pretty much after you put the amulet on, the guy suddenly reaches out into his coat, pulls out a flintlock pistol, and shoots you. Right before the bullet's about to hit, the amulet glows and sends out a kind of bluish light barrier that stops the bullet immediately in front of you.
Oh, wow.
See, it is very effective.
He just sort of like reach out like he thinks he's going to touch a barrier or something.
So pretty much after the bullets gets blocked, the barrier's gone. It no more, and whatever glow the amulet has is gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's reaching out. He's curious, so.
Though I've never been able to consistently get that out. It seems to only work about maybe once a day.
Oh, I suppose there's a story about how you found that out.
How I found it out? Someone got shot.
A short story, then.
Yes.
Oh, and then he'll take it off and go to hand it back.
The cloak appears to have some sort of kind of invisibility enchantment to it. Again, it's not easy to get it to work 100% of the time. And the ring, I don't know what it does. I'll be perfectly honest. I hadn't been able to figure that one out either.
Is that something maybe you could look at, Effie?
Sure. I'll look at the ring to see if I can figure out anything about it.
Give me focus. So there's definitely something magical about this. You can definitely sense a spirit inside of it. What it is exactly, it's kind of hard to tell. But you do sense that you can maybe bring it out.
Is there do I know anything about the ring itself? Does it match any like archaeology myths that we know about?
Give me an academics. So this ring is Egyptian. From that time period, they definitely had dealings with spirits, as there was a usher of the underworld. This could be similar to a situation with the dagger, where it could contain a soul in it that is being used for a purpose down the line, or, well, it's hard to tell unless you try to activate it.
It looks Egyptian.
Yes, and it was actually found in an old tomb that we gathered in. Apparently it was cursed, though I haven't seen the effects of the curse yet.
Oh, you think it was a curse?
Well, the tomb's supposed to be cursed, at least from the hieroglyphs that we saw, or the translator read.
What kind of curse was it supposed to have?
Something about a quick death or eternal suffering, disease. It's hard to say. Though I did have two guards quit after that.
Get the ring back.
This is the one time that Carl notices Montre start to move and stop himself. Like,
So he stops moving when Effie does not take it?
And when she gets it back, he kind of his body posture relaxes.
Okay.
As soon as the guy
Carl,
said something about souls and curses, that's when he tits up.
I mean, Carl will notice this and give a slight nod of acknowledgement.
Is there something concerning you all?
Just the brilliant light, and it's also very well. It's so very unusual. It's a lot to take in. It's hard not to be a little bit concerned about something that is so I just have no understanding of. A respect for the unknown. I think that's all.
That is a fair respect to have. Sometimes we need to make that push to make the unknown known.
I agree.
I think Montre will hold up his hand and like with the number 3, like because he's trying to indicate what's the third item.
He told us it was
It
the
is a
invisibility
cloak
cape.
that apparently is enchanted with some sort of invisibility effect. Essentially kind of akin to the one from Harry Potter. I'll say right there. Would either of you want to try the other items? I don't recommend the amulet. That only seems to work once a day. Sometimes.
I would be interested in seeing this cloak. I'm quite curious.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you can take the cloak. Now you can wrap it around yourself, and then we can see what happens. Just need you to give me like a D4.
Okay.
So essentially, once you wrap the cloak around yourself, it's not really quite invisibility. It's more of refracting, essentially making the area around you hazy to where you kind of blend in with the environment. But to a closer eye, you can definitely determine that, hey, you are there, or that part that you were covering with the cloak is there, but it's a bit hard. It would be hard to see unless you're looking for it. Not perfect, essentially.
This is quite a thing.
It's good to see it didn't try to strangle you.
Oh, well, I agree.
Montre's head tilts again, like he's like, I wish I could talk and tell you to take the damn thing off right now.
There was one mishap where that happened.
Well, sometimes it's good to be lucky, and he'll take it off.
Sean comes back into the room at this very moment.
Welcome back. You missed the action. I suppose you could hear the gunshot.
I'm afraid I didn't hear anything.
Oh, that's odd.
Sean dead.
I had a fan on in the bathroom. It's a polite thing to do.
Understandable. Well, I guess I should ask if you might be interested in any of these items.
I turn to look at Effie.
They could all serve great, I think we should get them.
All right. Well, let's talk price.
I need you to make me a wealth roll.
Worries me every time you say that.
Is this a case where he's going to get his little card included?
In that case, you can only fail on a natural 1 or a critical failure, which is close.
Almost what happened.
That was close.
And then I get a +2, bringing it up to a 7.
I think it was already applied.
I didn't apply anything to this roll.
It's a +1 on there.
Well, I thought it was a 1 and a 2. Yeah, some reason there's already a +2 added to it.
You give me a +1 because of
your aristocrat
wealth?
edge.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a scale 2 that's added. I don't know what's going on with that.
If he played his card, I think it'll automatically do it.
Oh, interesting. Well,
maybe that might be what's going on. Interesting. Well, yeah, so for now your die will go down to a D8.
Wait. For winning? For succeeding?
Yes. It's only temporary though.
Okay. I'll trust you to do that on my sheet.
I will do it on your sheet real quick.
I look deeply alarmed when that happens.
That is to... So which one were you... It was the amulet, right?
I wanted to buy all of them.
Oh, you want to buy all of them? Okay, yeah, you get all.
Effie just said we should get all of them.
You get all of them.
Okay.
If we were handed them, Montre very quickly divest him of the ring and the choking cape.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Carl does not get to hold those 2 things.
As soon as the deal, I mean, Carl acknowledged your concern when you started giving it. So as soon as that's a thing, he'll just sort of like wave over Montre to carry all of these.
Cape. I don't breathe. Give me that.
Sorry, did you just say I don't breathe?
So essentially, When you use the cape, you roll d4. On a 1, the cape will try to strangle you.
Doesn't sound like a problem.
I think it's more of a cloak. 2 to 3, the invisibility works mostly. 4, the invisibility works perfectly. As in, it's almost impossible for someone to detect you. The only thing that can give you off is your footsteps, essentially.
Or perhaps very loud machine gun fire.
Or, well, I mean, after that point, you're not really stealthing anymore.
But it would be funny.
Yeah. That would be a surprise. Someone just pulls out from a cloak, pulling out a NG34. The ring, you don't know what that'll do until you try to use it.
But she will not let Effie touch her again until he gets it safe somewhere. Professional courtesy.
Well, it seems our business is concluded. Thank you so much. And, if you get any more artifacts of this type, you can just give me a ring. My people will redirect your call to wherever I'm at in the world.
I would say it's been a pleasure.
Fantastic. My body man Harlen will gather up my things, and then we'll go. Is Harlen here?
Yeah, probably at this point, Harlan's made it back.
I look at Harlen and I say, are there any of our things we need to gather up?
I can be ready as soon as instructed, sir.
I'm instructing you right now.
Harlen will nod and go off to get the stuff then.
You will be able to leave no problem.
Well, I think we should chat on the way out of... let's see, well, Harlen will start speaking once they're out of range of when they can... The guards and the people who work here can all hear. He'll start speaking, Sean.
While we're driving away, or still here?
As soon as possible, so yeah.
It's probably when you're driving away. Unless you want to talk about suspicious things while you're in the facility, about the suspicious things that you found here.
Yeah, as soon as people aren't able to hear, so probably in the car. I was able to find their storage, but since it seemed you were attempting to take a diplomatic approach, I've chosen not to do anything for now.
Were there additional items in the storage?
There were a number of them.
Fascinating. That's extremely important.
We can continue your method, or we could try and come back and acquire them myself. They shouldn't be too well guarded considering they were hidden.
Honestly, I think we need to talk to Bates first before we make that kind of decision. You know what I mean?
Just nod.
If there was ever a day that was going to make me not even be a little bit curious about wine anymore, it was definitely today.
What's your problem with wine?
Whatever that wine was, it tasted metallic. It was not a pleasant taste.
That's weird.
I don't like my drinks to taste like metal. Blech.
But I take a tincture of magnesium all the time in order to keep my blood flowing correctly.
Or don't try moonshine.
Don't go to the U.S. to try moonshine.
Actually, this is about the time period that they're just getting over the prohibition. Yeah. Oh God, when did the prohibition end? That's actually an excellent question.
Right about the time of the 17th Amendment. Nope, that's direct vote by senators.
1933. So it just ended 2 years prior to this.
18th Amendment, which was then abolished on December 5th, 1933 by the 19th Amendment.
Yep.
Nope, 19th Amendment was women's right to vote. 20th Amendment was the vice presidency and presidency terms. Jesus, we're bad at amendments. All right, 21st Amendment. Well, look, we haven't done one in a while.
This is true.
Yeah, otherwise, for the rest of the ride back, Carl's just trying to find stuff to do. He's incredibly bored.
Okay.
Carl, you look incredibly bored.
Montre spends the whole time silent because he doesn't want to talk around Sean because apparently it upsets him. But if he had eyes, he would be glaring at Carl still.
I turn to Montre and I say, Montre, you did excellent this job. You were pivotal in this. I have to say, this is your best work so far.
He'll turn slowly towards Carl and just look at him, and he can't tell that he's staring at him. But he'll kind of
I'm
shake
just
his
not.
head and then stare back at Carl.
I'm just not. It takes
He
a
wouldn't
lot
say
of work
anything.
for me to stay still. I feel like I did a good job. I tried not to make too much noise or a nuisance. I just had to be doing something.
He finally he just leans towards you a little bit. Don't let people hold dangerous things when you have somebody here whose job is to take the hits. And he points
I
at
wasn't
himself.
sure. I wasn't sure what was going on until I saw you move, and then I understood. Thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for the reminder.
That's my job. Finally relaxes. Clutching the
I'm
cloak
really
and the
happy you didn't
ring
blow
in his
anything up
hands.
this time.
Me too.
That I didn't get blamed for this time.
I'm looking forward to getting back and just doing something. I got energy to burn.
Okay. So you're just heading back to the lodge? Or are you staying in the area?
I think we're staying on our 3 private train cars.
But you're heading back to the lodge?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then we'll pick up from there.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Very, very peaceful mission.
It is fun trying to deal with my hindrances in a way that isn't just obstructive to the party. It's just trying to keep himself busy was fun.
Yeah, the character he was perfectly fine with. It was a good distraction, so I could say something like "I turn to look" without. Because honestly, Montre is literally supposed to just stand still until told to go stab something. So it's literally what he's supposed to do, is to stand still. But he was also like, "What are you doing? Where are you going? You got a leash on this guy? Stand here with me." And then when Effie starts touching shit, he's like, "Nope, I can't stop this."
We didn't have to burn anything down. We didn't explode anything. Nobody jumped out windows.
What a shame.
AP avoided supernatural instances yet again.
I didn't have to murder my way through a mansion to make sure a character that the character believes is more important than everyone else there out. So that was a good time.
And the whole episode was the Sean Dublin show. We did things his way.
Yep. It worked.
Yeah, that's why it went completely smoothly. I both developed the mission and led it personally. There were no terrorist Italians or I don't remember why things went bad in China, but
It was Harlan suddenly pulling on the thing that looked like it was obvious activation thing.
I don't know.
He alerted the Germans.
Fault, though. I want to blame the local populace because it's easier than blaming someone from our group.
Yeah, I think it just started because we landed.
Blame the
Just
Germans. We're allowed to do that in this time period.
that socialist regime.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the famously socialist Germans. Yes, of course.
Yeah. All right.